Taebaek refers to the Han people's holy Baekdu mountain and Venus that lights the day early in the morning. The progress line of Taebaek POOMSAE, which represents the will of Venus to light the whole world through Taekwondo, is the character Gong, which means artisan. We will now take a look at the key moves of Taebaek POOMSAE. Taebaek POOMSAE consists of 5 key moves, namely 봄서기 손날 아래 헤쳐막기, 손날 엎어 잡기, 금강 바깥 막기, 틀어배기, and 등주먹 바깥치기. We will now take a closer look at each of the key moves of Taebaek POOMSAE. When performing 봄서기 손날 아래 헤쳐막기, both hands should be placed in the center line of the thigh of the front leg. The back of your hands should each face outward, and the space between your hand and body should be about 1 hand's length sideways. Start in front of your chest and perform 헤쳐막기 downward. When assuming postures where the legs are spread forwards and backwards like 봄서기 and 앞구비, the arm on the same side as the front foot should cross from the outside. For 손날 엎어 잡기, assume an opponent has hold of you. Twist the thumb of the hand being held outside. Then open your hand so the palm is seen from above. Raise your hand and pull it close to your body to release your wrist. Open your arm inside out and cover the back of the hand of your opponent. Hold, bend back, and pull. While bending and twisting, be careful not to let your elbow rise excessively or move outward, as you can only exert force effectively when the elbow is close to the torso. For 금강 바깥 막기, start with 작은 돌적기 and move together to the center line. This is a technique where the outer arm performs 얼굴 막기 and the inner arm performs 안팔목 바깥 막기 at the same time. 틀어배기 is a technique where you spin the thumb toward the inner wrist and release between an opponent's thumb and index finger. When performing 얼굴 바깥치기, strengthen the shoulder and shoulder blade by bending the elbow and utilize the torque of the torso. The elbow should face downward and the fist raised level with the temple. Be careful not to bend the elbow. These are the 5 key moves of Taebaek POOMSAE. We will now look at the moves in succession connecting each move. The key moves of Taebaek first part consist of 손날 아래 헤쳐막기, 오른 앞차기, double 지르기, 손날 아래 헤쳐막기, 왼 앞차기, double 지르기, 제비품 안치기, 젖혀내며 왼 지르기, 젖혀들어 잡아 끌며 지르기, and 손날 엎어 잡고 지르기. When performing Taebaek's first move, 손날 아래 헤쳐막기, move your center to your right foot. Set your left foot to the left and assume the 왼 봄서기 posture. When blocking from the 왼 봄서기 posture, the left arm should cross on the outside. The 앞차기 should be performed forward in a straight line. The kicking foot is folded after the kick. The ball should touch the ground first. Then complete your breath and move the moment your heel touches the ground. When performing 몸통 double jirugi, the lower body should be planted firm to maintain balance. When performing chochonegi, pull the hand close to the body and release the wrist, or perform jirugi by brushing aside and setting your right foot. Chochonegi and jirugi should be performed naturally in succession. Cautions for TAEBAEK first part, taking a closer look. Be mindful of the inner and outer location of the arm when starting hechomaki. During aptagi, with the upper body fixed in place, do not kick using only the legs. Be careful not to let the elbow open when performing jirugi. When performing jeppipum anchigi, do not twist the torso excessively and lose balance or swerve to the right. We will now practice the moves of TAEBAEK first part in succession while watching the video. The key moves of TAEBAEK second part consist of 금강 안팔목 바깥막기, 오른 당겨 지르기, 왼 지르기, 오른 작은 돌저기, 왼 옆차기 오른 팔꿈치 표적치기, 금강 안팔목 바깥막기, 왼 당겨 지르기, 오른 지르기, 왼 작은 돌저기, and 오른 옆차기 왼 팔꿈치 표적치기. When performing 당겨 지르기, the hammer fist being pulled must not touch the front of the opposite shoulder. Pull the left foot to the inside of the right knee. Move your center to the right foot. Then complete 오른 학다리 서기 오른 작은 돌저기. When performing 왼 옆차기 오른 팔굽 표적치기, leave the right fist on the back in the 작은 돌저기 posture. The left fist should start from the waist and draw a circle inside out to perform the 옆차기. Your arms and legs should be parallel above and below. Cautions for TAEBAEK second part, taking a closer look. When performing 금강 바깥막기, do not block after crossing your arms. Be careful not to let the 당겨 지르기 become 치지르기. Do not perform jirugi while the opposite arm is fixed. When pulling the left foot from the 오른 뒷굽이 while performing 오른 작은 돌저기, be careful not to straighten the supporting right knee. It is important to maintain the same elevation. During 왼 옆차기 오른 팔꿈치 표적치기, do not perform 옆차기 by crossing your arms in front of your chest. We will now practice the moves of TAEBAEK second part in succession while watching the video. The key moves to TAEBAEK third part consist of 왼손을 godoro 막기, 오른 손끝 세워 찌르기, 오른 hand 밑으로 베기, 등주먹 바깥치기, and 오른 지르기. When performing 왼손을 godoro 막기, the hand blade should be level with the solar plexus and the elbow should point downward. The elbow of the blocking arm should maintain 90 degrees to 120 degrees, and the assisting left hand should be level with the right elbow. Keep the left elbow close to the body, and leave one hand length between the outer wrist and torso. When performing 손끝 세워 지르기, keep the index, middle, and ring finger in a straight line at the same length to prevent injuries. The force is concentrated in the tip of the hand with a small area of contact, making it effective in attacking the opponent's pressure points. When performing 밑으로 베기, you must move and set the left foot to the left, Twist the body to the opposite direction of progress, then perform wen apgubi. Place your left hand in front of the chest. Open your hand with a space of one raised fist. Open your right hand and pull the back of your hand to the right back. Baegi must be performed quickly. Use your arm and weight together to finish the move. Push off the ground with the left foot. Move your center to the right foot. Spin with the right ball as an axis. Then perform dungjumok bakatchigi. Oren jirugi is performed with a shout. Perform nediki with oren apgubi, following the previous oren 뒷구비 dungjumokchigi with no change in elevation. Cautions for TAERAK third part. Taking a closer look. When performing Sonna Godoromaki, the elbow should not move forward. If it does, the direction of the force will change. When performing Sonkut Sewojirugi, be careful not to let the wrist bend. When performing Mituropegi, do not pull by merely changing directions. When performing dungjumok bakatchigi, be careful not to let the wrist bend. We will now practice the moves of TAERAK third part in succession while watching the video. The key moves of TAERAK fourth part consist of oren kawimaki, oren aptagi, and double jirugi. Wen kawimaki, wen aptagi, and double jirugi. Kawimaki is a technique to perform aremaki and anparmok bakatmaki simultaneously, but it can also be utilized as a more appropriate technique depending on the motion. Cautions for TAERAK fourth part. Taking a closer look. The basics of kawimaki is to perform aremaki with the left arm when the left foot is in front, and anparmok bakatmaki with the right arm. When performing aptagi, be careful not to let the kicking leg pass the supporting leg and do a folding kick. We will now practice the moves of TAERAK fourth part in succession while watching the video. This concludes the training for TAERAK POOMSAE. We will take another look at all the moves and master POOMSAE. We have looked at all the key moves of TAERAK POOMSAE and provided thorough explanations for each move and things to watch out for. Continue with your training of TAEBAEK, which seeks to light the world, and let the light abide in your body and mind as well. We will see you again in the Pyeongwon POOMSAE video. Thanks for watching.